name, let it rain. Hall of Fame. Every word's a heavyweight swing. Hall of Fame. Built on blood, sweat, and pain. Hall of Fame. Put respect on the game. Put respect on the game. Hey. Put respect on the game. Hey. Yeah. Put respect from the mat to the mic, from the grind to the glow. Every scar got a story, every win you already know. No gimmicks, no smoke, just the truth when we speak. If it moves the culture, we the ones you should seek. They been watching the climb, now they hear the voice. When legends talk legacy, they ain't really a choice. Hall of Fame. This ain't hype, this is fact. Hall of Fame. Every era intact. Hall of Fame. Past, present collide. Hall of Fame. Forever certified. Put respect on the Booker T certified. 5 times solidified. Brad Gilmore verified. Voice of the fight amplified. Of his legacy we testify. Of his greatness we let it fly. History don't whisper. It speaks when we arrive. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Legends never change.
Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, and you know this show, man. It's all about the people. Want to thank you guys for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. But I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong. I've been in the gym training, you know what I mean, putting in that work. Hitting that eye, hanging and banging in the zone, brother. No, man, how you feel, dog? How you feel?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. I will say, we had a really rainy weekend in Houston, but it was nice. I'll be honest with you. You know what I did all weekend? There's 3 documentaries on Netflix that I watched. I watched they did a Michael Jackson trial, the OJ trial, and the Johnny Depp trial, and I was just laid up streaming those trials, watching it as the rain came. And I got to tell you, man, I don't know if you've seen any of those on Netflix, but especially the OJ one, that one always will be interesting to me. That case will always be interesting. And I will say this because I don't want to lose the audience with my OJ talk, but like, I don't think I could have convicted him if I was on the jury, right? Like, I don't think I could because of the cross.
But do you think he did it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't have any doubt that he did it. But I don't think
but how do you think he could have gotten it done?
The timeline lined up. He could have made it in time. You know, it all sounds right. It all sounds right. And do I think that the LAPD planted the evidence? I don't think that. I don't think that because there are pictures of the gloves being there. There's one glove before Furman ever got there. But my point is, Mark Furman, at the very least, Mark Furman lost them that case. And it every time I look into it, that continues to come up. It was like Furman, and the medical examiner, Mr. Fung, he didn't do the greatest job either.
Yeah, Johnny Cochran was a bad man.
Johnny, but also tell me you wouldn't want Barry Sheck representing you.
Sheck, he was really, really good. Everybody that played a part, you know, in that defense dream team, man. It was cold-blooded, man. It was cold-blooded. Yeah.
You know who I felt bad for in the doc? I felt bad for Chris Darden, right?
Yeah. They put the brother out front. You know what I mean? He was a scapegoat. He was a scapegoat. That's what he was. That's what he was.
Because he had to argue for Furman, right? Like he had to, because Furman was a part of their testimony, part of their trial. And then Furman lies about ever saying the racial stuff, right? And then he ends up saying it later. And Chris Darden, though, this is what made me sad. This is a new interview. I mean, this came out a few months ago. Darden goes, when I die, they're gonna bury me with a pair of isotoners. It's like, God damn, man. It's like, damn, man. That's true, but damn, man. You know, so you felt
the one line that I remember most about that case was Johnny Cochran, I think he said, Van Adder, the man who carried the blood. Furman, the man who found the glove. Twins of deception. Twin demons of evil. That's cold-blooded. That's just cold-blooded, man. He just threw both of them under the bus, man. But no, man, very interesting case. And to the end, man, to the end is always going to be something that's debated. If he did it, if he didn't, it's still up in the air for me. Just because I catch flights on a weekly basis, and I think it would be hard for me to kill two people like that and not have a massive amount of blood on me and still get to the airport on time without sweating and making it. It just seemed.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But I actually encourage you to watch this one because there was a lot of new evidence that I don't remember. Now, I was very young when the trial was going on, so I wasn't watching it. I know didn't you say like y'all would watch it like on the road and stuff?
I watched it from cover to cover, actually. Did they talk about the white guy that perhaps was the serial killer?
They brought up a serial killer. They brought up. They brought up the drug cartels, and maybe this was a Colombian necktie or something like that. There was a lot of theories. Who was the guy? What was the lawyer's name on OJ's team? Not Johnny, but like Johnny's right-hand man. You know about shorter guy?
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Not
right
Dirk.
now, I know exactly who you're talking about. Carl, it's Carl something. I can't think of his last name. Yeah.
He was the star of the documentary. He was just a superstar. He gave such great interviews.
Yeah. He definitely get a lot of airtime these days. I know Carl Douglas. Carl
Douglas
is his name. Yes.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I remember all these guys' names.
And I know people are tuning into a wrestling podcast, so I'm sorry that we got off on OJ Simpson. But I will say one more thing too: the fact that Van Adder was driving around with the blood in his pocket was weird too. Right? That was strange.
There was a lot of weird things. Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. I couldn't have convicted him. I couldn't have done it in clear conscience, even though I'm like 90% sure.
When he could have delivered the blood to Parker Center, but he went to Piper Tech. I remember all of this stuff. It's just stuck in my mind. You know what I mean? Instead of going down the street, he went all the way across town. But the blood just stupid, man. Oh man, but let's get going, man. Let's get going. The people, like I say, this show today is all about the people. You guys got a lot of questions that you guys want answered, and that's what we're here for today, to answer your questions, give it to you straight. And the thing is, look here. I ain't ducking nothing, no matter what it is, man. Just bring it, and I'm gonna deliver. So, Brad, where you want to start? What you got?
Actually, you know what? I just remembered that we were a part of an internet controversy last week, and we haven't even talked about it.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
The finisher spam.
You're talking about I never heard that word. Finish spam. What is it?
Finisher spam. I said it on the show.
Okay. Okay. Well, they attributed it to me.
You. Do you know? So you know what? I get hot about that too, because I'm like, look, give me my stuff. Like, I'll take the tweets. I could use the engagement.
No, but I was on board. I was on board with it 100%. As far as the conversation and what we was talking about, and me personally, I wasn't looking for a fight with Ricochet or anything like that. But Ricochet came back, and the people say Ricochet fires back at Booker T. I think Ricochet was just stating his opinion.
He was stating his opinion,
even what he thinks about wrestling. And as far as what was it, Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah,
I got the video game. Okay, I got the video game. I'm the king of video games. I know all about, Toe Ball, Dragon Ball Z, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm a gamer. But I get where Ricochet is coming from as far as this generation and what those guys go out there and do. But my opinion is not going to change, not one bit, as far as the way I see professional wrestling. Now, do I think there's a place on the show for certain things to be done a little bit more than other places in the show? Yes, because it's called trying to get to means to our end, to an end, as far as the way a show begins and the way a show goes in the middle, as well as the way it finishes. It's not going to start, in a car chase for me. For me, I need to start that show off properly. Me personally, I'm not going to put the first match out there and say, hey, guys, go out there. I need you guys doing dives over the top. I need you guys doing chair shots. I need you guys bringing the trash can out and kicking out everything, because we still got a main event. That's what I'm talking about as far as a crescendo. That's the word I was looking for, a crescendo, as far as where we're trying to go as far as this show goes. Do I understand what Ricochet, where he's coming from? Yes, I get it. I understand it. And these young guys today, I must say, they see this business totally different in a lot of ways than I do. Even a lot of guys that I'm training, I'm working with. I had this one kid, he came up to me and he said, hey boss, the CM Punk match, versus Roman, what did you think about it? I go, man, what a hell of a match. Top 10 matches, WrestleMania of all times. And he looks at me and he goes, but they didn't do anything. And I go, that's bang. I say that's what you need to try to find. I say, that's what you're looking for, to be able to try to find exactly that. And he go, oh. So I get it. I'm still going to try to teach it to the young guys as far as what, whether they use it or not, that's going to be on them. But the ones that I'm working with, that I'm trying to, give that knowledge to be able to, use your tools when you need to. Have that tool bag and be able to go in and shock and amaze the crowd whenever you need to. But you just don't need to do it every night with every move. That's the only thing. It's the only thing I'm saying.
They didn't do anything. That's the point, right? That's it was such a
great ending. I mean, we got to take a break. Guys, you're in the Hall of Fame. We got a whole lot to talk about. Stick around. We will be back in a minute.
What's up, everybody? Brad Gilmore and Booker T here in the Hall of Fame, and we want you to stop what you're doing. Put the remote down, sit up straight, adjust your championship belt, because this is not just an ad. This is an announcement from the Performance Commission.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm talking about bright lights, big fights, main event, last man standing energy, dog.
Look, this is the moment where the smoke hits, the pyro explodes, and the announcer screams, ladies and gentlemen, business is about to pick up.
Go ahead and tell him, Brad. Hit him with it.
Look, you already know what time it is. It's time to level up, and Blue Chew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking about next level championship belt gold-plated energy.
I'm talking about Blue Chew Gold is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. This is the 4-in-1 base that's setting gold standard performance, man.
Yeah, we're talking about 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal connection in your brain and your body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. That means you can get it in quicker and stay in the game longer. Elevation without hesitation. This is peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet.
That's right, Brad. Sounds like somebody just cashed in the money in the bank at midnight. Oh, yes.
That's not let's see what happens energy. That's call the announcer, cue the slow motion, somebody get a replay energy.
That's when the referee slides in and goes, y'all good? And you say, ring the bell.
That's the difference between showing up like it's a Tuesday
and showing up like it's WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and the after party.
Hey, BT, check this out. If she sends you that you still awake text, your confidence walking down the hallway should look like you just beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Man, after that, the mattress might retire your jersey.
The bed's gonna be in the back like, I need some ice. Somebody get me some ice.
That's what I call going for the gold, baby.
And coming home with the championship belt. Make life easier by getting harder, and discover your options at BlueChew.com.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with the code Booker. That's promo code Booker. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we want to thank Bluetooth for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Oh, yes, man.
All right. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame on Reality Wrestling's YouTube channel, ESPN 97.5, 92.5. We have a small technical glitch that BT is trying to get through. We were just talking about everything that's going on in the world of wrestling. Ricochet, mad about the finisher spam, man. I still don't think that I agree with Ricochet too much on that. I don't know what the Dragon Ball Z thing is, but like to me, like if the match warrants it, like BT was saying, like if it crescendos to that level, we can do that. I don't know what's going on with Book's microphone there, but we will. You know what? I think maybe we should go to a break real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll try to see. So we're going to be right back. This is the Hall of Fame. We'll be right back, guys.
Let me ask you something, Brad. What's one money lesson you wish you learned way earlier in life?
Oh, man, BT, I wish I learned about budgeting. No questions. Just understanding where your money goes before it disappears. And now, if you've got kids or teenagers, you're trying to pass those lessons down while juggling everything else.
Exactly. Parenting already comes with a million moving parts. The last thing you want is money stress adding to that chaos.
And that's where Cash App comes in, especially for parents with teens.
For all the parents out there with teenagers, we know you're already trying to keep a million different things under control. Cash App is here to help you make sure your teen's money and their spending isn't adding to that craziness.
Cash App is designed to meet teens aged 13 to 17 where they are with intuitive educational tools. Available through sponsorship by an eligible parent or guardian, teens can gain access to a personalized Cash App card that comes in different colors and patterns to fit their style and the ability to instantly access money from their family and friends. Cash App makes managing money feel easier and honestly just cooler than the other options out there.
The platform also has tools that can help develop real-world financial habits in a space that's safe and easy to navigate, all with your oversight and approval.
If your teen is getting their first job, Cash App can give them access to their paychecks up to 2 weeks early and can help them achieve personalized saving goals that they can set themselves all within the app. With Cash App, these tools become something they'll actually want to use because they were designed with them in mind.
Finally, no one wants unnecessary surprises. With Cash App, there are no monthly fees, no minimum balance required, and no hidden charges when sending or receiving money.
With the Cash App card, you and your teen's balances receive 24/7 fraud monitoring. If there's ever something that feels off, you have the ability to lock their card right from your phone in just one tap.
Skip the stress and give your teen a way to learn financial responsibility with no hidden fees. Download Cash App and get started today.
For a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code FAMILY10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply.
Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking service provided by Cash App's banking partners.
Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC.
Direct deposit promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand.
Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosure.
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I'm back. Can you hear me?
You're back, baby.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's keep it rolling, man. Let's keep it rolling. Pick up where you left off.
Well, I mean, we were talking about stuff with Ricochet and the finisher spam, but you know what? I think that we've already addressed all of that. But what we did do is we opened it up to the people because the show's all about the people, and the people had a lot of questions that they had sent in via X. X is where they send in all their questions. And so we're going to read through some of them. And guys, if y'all have some today, just go ahead and pop them in the chat. We just want to kind of roll off and see what the people are talking about. And we might as well start with Cali Toenail, actually, who just jumped one in there. He said, favorite style of the King of the Ring. I prefer the old tournament style when it was all one night. I don't care for this four-way style. It's not as exciting. It seems rushed. What say you? I have an opinion on this, actually, but what say you?
I mean, I agree. Even though I think I only had 2 matches to win the King of the Ring tournament by default. I think one of the matches, but I understand exactly what Callie's coming from it, as well as a King of the Ring poll came out today that I was reading, and I just can't. It fathoms. It literally shocks my mind when I see the list normally comes out. And, this time I was at number 4.
Four.
Yeah.
Four.
Yes. Stone Cold Steve Austin was number 1. I think Macho Man Savage was number 2. Number 3 was I can't remember who it was, and then I was number 4. And my thing is, I can accept being number 2 behind Macho Man Savage and the lovely Elizabeth. I can swallow that, but that would be the only king I would place higher than myself on any King of the Ring winner poll as far as what they did after they won the crown. That's the way I look at it. Not just the night. I understand Steve Austin, Austin 316 was born on that night, but that was it. What do you remember Steve Austin doing as King of the Ring? Not very much at all. Macho Man Savage, I give him his props. I think number 3, was the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, might have been Bret Hart.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Was number 3, and I'm like, I love all these guys. I love them all.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to put anybody over me, as far as the man who took that crown and took it to another level, myself and the Macho Man Savage.
Well, like to me, like if Austin won, like look, if Austin cut that promo after the Royal Rumble or after Survivor Series or after In Your House, whatever, right? It would have been the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the fact that he did the King of the Ring. It wasn't the King of the Ring that made Austin 316. It was the promo. And it just happened to be the night of the King of the Ring tournament, which he went on to win. To me, it's not so much that should not make him the best King of the Ring. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's one of the greatest.
I just
right?
need these suckers to put some respect on my name. All right. That's all I need. I just need these suckers to put some respect on my name, because the King of the Ring tournament, honestly, haven't been the same since my reign. And that's just facts.
Oh, hey. What's in my raps is facts, right? I don't disagree with that. And to me though, I do like the single night King of the Ring. I did like that when it was the tournament started and we knew by the end of the pay-per-view who the King of the Ring was. That I do like that aspect of it. And I think you could go back to it. I understand the build-up and the pomp and circumstance. And again, we do it in Saudi, King and Queen of the Ring. And so you you can't do 2 tournaments in one night.
It's hard to do in one night. And it's hard to do in one night if you're gonna do it right. You know what I mean? It's like having Roland Garros in one night. You can't do it, man.
The UFC tournaments used to be one night. You remember like the first few UFC pay-per-views?
Yeah, look at all those guys now. Look what kind of shape they're in.
Hey, man. Shamrock can still go. I think Shamrock is still – he's the most dangerous man on the planet in my mind still.
Yeah, okay.
Luck you, Shamrock. But okay. Well, we appreciate you, Callie. I'm going to share the screen here so we can read some of these off of Twitter or X, and we'll keep going in these. By the way, Book, while I pull this up, what do you think about those Knicks and Spurs?
Hey, man, big ups to Dan Housen. That's all I got to say.
Big ups to Dan Housen. Okay. This our first one comes from Tom Jones. He said, "Good morning, Booker T. This is something I've always wondered about releases. Writers come up with gimmicks, stories, scripts. If it gets followed to the T, but then they get released for not connecting, but that's what your boss said to do, whose fault is it?" That's actually an interesting question.
Well, I get that. I've never had a writer write for me, and I really truly believed in that writer being able to keep me a spot on the roster. I just didn't believe that at all. You know what I mean? Because I don't care what the writer writes. If your performance is not at a certain level, you're at risk. You're at risk of being one of those guys that's going to get released. That's just the bottom line. And the only thing you can do to combat that is preparation. Is the only luck you're ever going to have. Being prepared to go somewhere else, and hopefully you're a guy that's that the higher ups are looking at this guy and say, "Hey, man, we can make some money with this guy. Let's Brett. Hey, they might." It's almost like when the Undertaker, got let go from WCW. Stone Cold Steve Austin got let go from WCW, and WWE said, "Man, we see value in this guys. Let's bring him in. Let's do something and look at it now." So that's the way I look at something. Preparation is the only luck you're gonna ever have, as well as making it in this business. Your in-ring acumen and your star power is the only thing gonna keep you a job. Bottom line.
Well, yeah, and again, I understand the question, and it's a good question. I think that too is you look at someone like Undertaker, like the gimmick is when the writers or whomever gives it to him is, hey, you're going to play a dead guy who doesn't sell anything, right? That's what the gimmick was. You're going to play a dead guy who doesn't sell anything. It was up to the Undertaker to figure out, okay, that's the assignment. How do I make that interesting? It's still the performer, right? I mean, it's just like a script in Hollywood.
Not just interesting, but how do I make that a main event character for the next 30 years?
Facts. Yeah.
That's what that is. And when I see guys talk about, the writers aren't writing anything, that character would not have worked if the Undertaker's in-ring work wouldn't have carried it.
Yeah. Bottom line. But okay, look, and let's go back to the last question. I mean, and we've talked about it before, but like King Booker, the idea of it on paper, when the writer comes up with it, whoever it was, Gerwirtz or whomever, like, that's one thing. They came up with the idea or whatever, but it's up to you to figure out, okay, how do I elevate this? How do I make this something that people are going to want to watch and be interested in and invest in?
My career could have ended with people looking at me like I was a fool, wearing a crown and a cape, walking around and acting a fool and just, dancing or whatever. The people could have really but it was up to me to take that crown and take that robe and that scepter and make it something that no one had ever seen before and look at it from a realistic perspective, so real to where they had to make me the world heavyweight champion. Now the king of the ring and the queen of the ring, if they win the tournament, they get a shot at the championship. I created that. Me with these hands right here. but nah, man, it's about your work as far as how far you go. I look at someone like Kane, you know what I mean? He could work.
Oh, yeah, great example.
He could carry that role even as a big man. He could actually carry that role as a worker, as a performer. And you don't just slip on a banana peel. People can say what they want to say about, the Undertaker in that role for the last 30 years, but that dude worked at a main event level for the last 30 years of his career. Bottom line, that's just facts.
I couldn't agree with you more. Let's try to get to one more before we go to a break here. This comes from at Animal V5530. What do you think about Roman Reigns?
I think Roman's the best in the business right now. I really do. I know people talking about El Grande Americano 1 and 2 and how great those guys are as workers. Yeah, they're some of the best workers that we've ever seen in this industry. They really truly are. But I'm not looking at Roman Reigns in that same aspect. As far as what I mean about Roman, it's like the air. You can feel it. But you can't see it, but it's there, and he's a star. When he walks out of the curtain, he's a star. Everybody that he works with, he makes them bigger stars than they were before they walked into that ring. That's what I really think about Roman. And if we had more workers like Roman Reigns, but Roman's seasoned. Roman's, it's in his DNA and it's in his blood. But to go out there and bring that performance as he does, like I said, over these last 5 years or so, man, it's been incredible what this dude has done inside the middle of that ring. I give him major props. We got to take a break, guys. Y'all in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
What's up, everybody? This is Brad Gilmore and Booker T for the Hall of Fame podcast. And you know, Book, I've been trying to get my mornings together lately. Not perfect, just better. Less chaos, less fog, less of that, why did I drink 3 coffees and now I'm vibrating out of my chair feeling?
You know, man, I know exactly what you mean. I used to hit the coffee hard in the morning. Then by noon, I'm crashing like I just got hit with the bookend. That's not good, dog.
That's why I started messing around with mud water. It's a coffee alternative made with cacao, chai, turmeric, and functional mushrooms, stuff like lion's mane and reishi, and gives you this smooth, locked-in focus without the jitters or that nasty crash.
And check this out, if you still want that real coffee taste, they've got a new low-caffeine coffee brand, only 45 milligrams of caffeine, but it's got L-theanine and those same mushrooms, and it's feels so good, focused and steady, man. Not wired, not shaky, just ready to handle some business.
Yeah, Book, it's become part of my routine now. You just throw the powder in a mug, add hot water, mix it up. Some people add creamer, honey, whatever. It's easy.
You know, I like this part. Everything in it is organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, kosher, no sugar, no weird stuff, man. Just clean energy that actually lasts.
Plus, you can grab it online or even find it at Target and Sprouts now, which makes it super easy. If you want to get your morning started smarter, head to mudwater.com/Booker right now and get up to 43% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother when you use code BOOKER.
That's right, up to 43% off with the code Booker at mudwtr.com/Booker.
And after you order, they'll ask you how you heard about them. Tell them that the Hall of Fame sent you.
That's what I call starting the day like a champion. Now can you dig that, sucker? Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. We just answering all questions, man, any and everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything, man. So let's keep it rolling, man. Let's keep it rolling.
All right, we're going to go to our next question here as I pull this up. Let's see. We got, boom. This Booking Like a Mark is the name of the Twitter account. After spending so many years building your skills and persona in WCW and connecting with that audience, which do you think was the most harmful loss you took early in your WWE career? Would you characterize your losses as harmful to your character, BT?
You know, I know people, we're going to talk about WrestleMania 19. So let's just go ahead and get the, the elephant out of the room. Yeah. and a lot of people would think that one loss was harmful to me, and I say no, it wasn't harmful. It didn't hurt my career at all. I mean, I think I'm still here after 20 plus years being a part of that company in some way, shape, or form. I think I was listening to one of the Dark Side of the Ring episodes, and superstar Billy Graham lost the title and to Bob Backlund, and his family, his daughter, said that it ruined his life. It ruined him as a man, losing that championship to Backlund. And me personally, I refused. Let's this game, sports entertainment, professional wrestling, make me feel a certain way about myself, because I'm going out there and I'm doing a performance. And I'm hoping to give the best performance I possibly can at the end of the day. But I never thought about losing. I always said it's the way you lose. And people are gonna, harp on that. I mean, I even said that before too. And people say, man, you laid that for 20 seconds, before you got pinned. And I'm like, I don't remember that. I mean, personally, that's just not, but I know how people feel when you really captivate them and make them feel a certain way. And that's what this game is about. But for me, I've never lost a match and felt a certain way about it. In fact, just about every match that my brother and I lost as a team, as far as Harlem Heat go, I requested that I lose every time.
That you take the fall?
That I take the fall. I take the
Why'd
fall.
you do that?
Well, because it wasn't about me losing. It was about the way I went out and entertained the fans, because I could lose and then they're going to see me next week. I'm going to go out and shock and amaze them again. So they're going to forget about it. So it wasn't, I say if my brother lost and I lost, the team lose. But if I lose, it really doesn't matter, because we're going to get them right back on board next week anyway. So that's the way I looked at that. And taking all of those losses, going back to this question right here, did it make me feel a certain way? No, because there again, my brother and I, we lost so many matches. I mean, I don't think we ever won an overseas match as a tag team. But we went out and we performed at such a high level that the higher ups, the upper echelon, the guys that's in the office, they could not help but look at these guys and say, man, we got to do something with them. That's the way you get to that next level. That's how you make heads turn. When you make an eyebrow move up a little bit and somebody go, oh my, okay, we might have some. That's what you're looking for in this business.
So whenever like when a fighter walks out or a boxer walks out and they do the little lower third, you see the win-loss record, right? When a wrestler walks out, you never see the win-loss record next to the name. Well, you did an AEW for a while, but they changed that, I think. But to me, the point more so is like, it's really, I guess once you know the game a little bit more, you realize it's not a wins and loss kind of business.
It is a win, but you want to win. You want to win.
You can't just lose every match. But also, the guys who lost every match, I remember Brooklyn Brawler. You know what I mean? They still had good careers. You know what I mean? The enhancement guys.
All of those guys that lost.
Yeah. Iron Mike Sharp.
Yeah.
All those guys.
Exactly. It's good.
So they still, but yeah, you as a top guy, you want to win more than you lose. But like, it's a story at the end of the day. You're going to lose. No one retires, right? And whether like there's great examples and there's bad examples, but to me, like, yes, it's just a part of the business. This comes from Kiana, who says, if you could go back in time to relive a match of yours again, what would it be?
Man,
Do you have an answer? That's a good question.
That's a really, really good question. And the only honest answer that I really could give is the best of 7
With Benoit.
Chris Benoit in WCW. I wish I could talk about those matches more publicly, but it's just a sore spot.
Sure.
But those matches are a masterclass for young people to go out and watch, because a lot of it was just improv. A lot of it was just act and react and feel. And God, man, what a way to break out as a singles wrestler for me. So without any shadow of a doubt, that's what it would be.
What, like just all 7 of them, or I guess 8, right? Go through all of them again.
Yeah. I mean, just the matches were so intriguing because it wasn't something that we thought we could do ourselves. We didn't think we could pull that off. And then it got to the point to where it was just a thoughtless, process. Let's just go out and shock and amaze and take it to another level and really bring it to the point to where it felt real. It felt as real as it's ever felt for me, putting on a pair of boots inside the ring, and all of my years doing this, something that I could never, ever, recreate or duplicate, just because it was a once in a lifetime thing.
There you go. That's a good answer. Good question too. Pinto Beans wants to know, why does nobody do the Harlem Hangover or the Axe Kick? Do you keep them protected? Has anyone ever asked you to use them?
No, well, it's just one Japanese girl does the Harlem Hangover. Can't remember her name, but she was highlighted a couple of years ago as far as doing the Harlem Hangover. Right now, we got this one girl in NXT. Her name is Layla Diggs, and she's on the come up, and she does the axe kick as well, and she does a pretty good axe kick, man. She's got hops. But I don't know. As far as me protecting any of my moves or anything like that, nah, I'm not one of those old school guys that get mad if I see somebody doing a move and it was something that I came up with. I mean, I see so many people doing the side kick, and I'm like, man, I invented that move, man. That's me. I put that on the map. The scissor kick move, I put that on the map. Harlem Hangover, I put that on the map. You know what I mean? So when I see these young kids go out there and pull it off, hey, big props, man. Big props to those kids. And for me, paying homage to me, it's just keeping me relevant. You know, sometimes these young guys, you know, out there doing their thing. That's why I say you just can't say respect your elders. You got to say respect the young guys these days, coming from my perspective, because they're the ones that's, you know, keeping me relevant out there doing what they're doing right now. So now, man, I love it. I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm actually so shocked that nobody does the hangover, you know, stateside.
It's not a move that's conducive to having a long career. I must say that. That's why, you know.
So it's a perfect move for anybody in AEW. No, I'm kidding. Jokes.
No, for me, when I did the Harlem Hangover, honestly, right hand to the man. It was for shock value and shock value only. I knew that wasn't a move that I could actually go out and do on a regular basis. I knew I wasn't going to go out and try to, you know, do that 365. I had a limited amount of Harlem Hangovers in my body, and the number was about 8. You know what I'm saying? So it was just for shock value to make people think that I was a top rope guy, but I am claustrophobic. I hate, I'm afraid of heights. You know what I mean? But one thing about this business, and I tell my students this all the time, you don't have to actually know how to do this professional wrestling thing. You really don't have to know how to do it. You just have to act like you know how to do it. And you have to act like you know how to do it very, very well. You know what I mean? So that's what I preach to my students. Find that level playing field to where when you go out there, hey, I'm going to act it, and I'm going to act it all the way. I want to be the Denzel Washington of professional wrestling. That means I get all the main event matches, all the main event roles. That's what this thing is all about, man. Hey, man, you in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Oh, Matt Damon. Obviously, everyone knows Matt Damon.
Yeah, Knobs beat him up.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
That's a true story. That's not allegedly.
Knobs actually. Okay, wait, hold on. So I was about to go somewhere else, but we'll get back to the Matt Damon story about Avatar. I've always heard this. They were at some bar where in Boston,
somewhere, I can't remember where it was.
And Matt Damon happened to be there, and the Nasty Boys and some of the other boys were there. And he and Knobs, what happened? What happened?
Look, I don't know exactly what happened, but my brother was there. Knobs beat up Matt Damon in a bar, and the thing is, they probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Knobs and Sags, probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Matt Damon was just a kid back then. He was just getting started. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like he was the same guy that played Django. That was Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yes.
Well, you know, they both look kind of alike.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I don't know what that always gives me.
It always makes me laugh too.
We just answered all questions, man. All questions, man. Give me some tough questions, man. Give me some tough ones.
Well, I'm just scrolling through them as they pop up here, but let's see what's up next. Okay, here we go. This is from Adam Brown. Was there ever talks between you and Stevie Ray, aka Lash, for him coming to WWE for a possible 11-time tag team championship run, or was he always a hard no after WCW ended?
Excuse me. After WCW shut down, I know my brother was in a different spot in his life right then. He just had a daughter. but it was only one occasion that I remember as far as my brother coming to WWE, and they wanted him to come in and get looked at. And my brother just wasn't interested in coming in and getting looked at. And that was the only talk between, WWE and my brother. But as far as tag team wrestling goes, um, tag team wrestling was, behind me at that point in time. I was a singles wrestler. I wasn't thinking about going back and doing tag team wrestling again or anything like that. So I don't know what would have happened if my brother would have come into WWE at that time. But I know for me, I did tag team wrestling for the majority of my career up until that point, and I was ready for something new. I was ready for a new test. I was ready for a new challenge, and I wanted to go out there and see exactly how good I was as a singles competitor.
So, I mean, when you say that, and this is just my follow up, when you say that they wanted to look at him, were they asking him like come in, like were they trying to look at him for wrestling, for comment, because you're doing commentary at the time, or were they looking at him for a Harlem Heat reunion run?
I don't know. I can't say. I know they want to look at him.
Did they ever say to you, hey, we want to do Harlem Heat in WWE?
No,
that never happened.
That never happened. That never happened as far as us, being talked about, putting the reunion back together and doing it all over again. No, that wasn't something that was ever discussed. And like I say, for me at that point in time, I think I was past doing tag team wrestling also. Not that if an opportunity would have came, I wouldn't have, did it, because, Harlem Heat is definitely near and dear to my heart. But I don't think, doing something like that would have been taking a step forward.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
and the thing is also, everybody that just about everybody that came from WCW had to have a tryout, had to get looked at, except me.
Love how you put that in there. Let's go to the next one here. This comes from Derek at Sound Off 316. Would you guys bring Jada Parker back to reality wrestling? She's spinning her wheels in NXT, is what he says.
No, would you? Jada, look here. Will we bring her back? Of course. I can't wait to bring Jada Parker back to reality wrestling, but she's not spinning her wheels. Jada Parker is a work in progress. I mean, you just can't catapult yourself to the top of the main roster and be prepared for that moment, because it's a totally different animal than being in NXT. It's a totally different animal being a couple of years in this business on television and then this is a learning process, all right? This is about going out there and learning the X's and O's, being able to go out there and perform in the middle of that ring without an umbrella, without a net, in front of millions of people. So when I speak on something like that, you want to, see Jada Parker, on Raw, SmackDown, and then immediately when she make a mistake, oh, she wasn't ready for it. Oh, she need to be back in NXT. That's the first thing you're gonna say. So no, she's not spinning her wheels. She's preparing for what's next, and what's next is the sky's the limit, baby.
Reality Wrestling Summer of Champions 12 is what's next. No, I'm kidding. I'm fantasy booking. That's what it's called, fantasy booking. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And Jada Parker's a mega star. And when it's time for her to pop off, it's going to happen, right? And it's going to be at the right time. You asked for something controversial. Brian G. James Daddy says, "Why do you hate AEW?"
Man, why would somebody make a statement like that? Why would somebody make a statement like that and say, I hate AEW? That is the most ludicrous thing I ever heard in my life.
I think people conflate criticism with hatred.
When I got students that's come from reality wrestling that's working in that company, when somebody can put a roof over their head and pay their bills and take care of their kids, you think I'm a hate on that? Are you serious? Are you serious? Right. You people need to get a grip on yourselves and start going after people that hate AEW, okay? Because me personally, I lose no sleep thinking about hating on anybody in this day and age, at the age I'm at right now. So me personally, big ups to AEW. Do I think things could, be differently sometimes? Do I see things that, I comment on sometime? Yes. But do I hate AEW and wish them to not exist? No, that's not what I'm here for. All right.
Absolutely not. Any assertion to the contrary is asinine. But I want to say this, like you said, we have, you have friends over there. I have friends over there. We have reality wrestling alumni there. It's nothing but love. Shout out to my guy Brian Keith. Shout out to Athena. Shout out to Chris Jericho. Shout out to the Cope. My world. Shout out to Cope and Christian Cage. Christian Cage is your boy. I think they're the tag team champions over there right now.
Come on, man. Come on. I'm trying to figure out, what have I said so bad about AEW where someone would think that I hate one thing, just one thing. The person who made that comment, name one thing that I've said to make you think that I hate AEW. Just one.
We'll wait. We'll wait. But we are on the air and we have airtime.
Just one thing. That's
just
it.
One. Find one.
Just one. That's all I'm asking for. Just one.
Our next one comes from Murphy at Dizzy6683. How much fun did you have behind the scenes filming in Vegas when Sister Sherry married Colonel Parker? I know you were trying not to laugh on camera.
That was some fun times, I must say. Colonel Parker, Sister Sherry, them two entanglements, whatnot. It was some great times. It was like one of those shows where you're live and you're trying to keep from laughing so hard, so you got to turn and bite your finger or whatever. It's one of those type of things. But no, man, that's a great time in Vegas. I met Joe Jackson and his wife there.
Catherine?
Yeah, Catherine Jackson at Caesar's Palace. And I was just looking at this hat that their team had made me. I still have it downstairs, and it's got Harlem Heat on it. And it's pretty cool. It's red and black, and red and yellow with the flames on it. It's really, really cool.
Who made it?
One of the members in the Jackson team. He made a lot that year, and he just wanted to make something for Harlem Heat. And he made us these like baseball caps. I still got mine. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Whoa. Okay, I didn't know that. I knew you had met Joe and Catherine before. I didn't know that they gave you that hat. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Were you like the biggest like Michael, like a Jackson 5 fan, like growing up? Like, were they your guys?
Man, me and my a friend of mine, we grew up, his name's Wendell. We used to call ourselves the Magnificent Two. We used to, dress up like Michael Jackson. We used to do all of the talent shows around the city. This one place right off the MLK Boulevard called the Black Stallion. I remember we faced these two guys, Ronald Ray and Kenneth Miller. And we finally, these guys were so good, man. They were so good. They was a little older than us. And we finally beat these guys and won the trophy and won the $100. And I remember us being so excited, the Magnificent Two. I love Michael Jackson coming up. Seriously.
Oh man, yeah. Well, hey, we'll get to. I think we have time maybe for one more question here before we have to wrap up the show today. And guys, sure. We'll have to do a part 2 to this where we answer them all because we really thank y'all for sending in all these. This one comes from Midnight Pro. It says, sick. My question: if given the chance, would you ever be there to do the ad libs again for Trick's entrance at a big PLE such as SummerSlam or WrestleMania?
One night only. Make it in Saudi. Okay, one night only. Make it in Saudi. And I definitely, oh yeah, man. Just one more time. But yeah, man, I love what Trick's doing. Flying his wings as well, him and Lil Yachty. I think they're a really good combination. Yeah, one thing about this business is it's a young man's game. It really truly is. But for me to be able to do something like that for a Trick, it'll have to be one night only at one of these big shows. And like I said, I'm just trying to manifest this thing to make it happen. Let's do it in Saudi. WrestleMania.
Sweet Saudi money spinneroonie. We can see it happen.
I'm retired. I'm done.
Well, BT, we actually have to get out of here already.
Hey, man, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne, which is caviar dreams, baby. Always got to thank you people, man, for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Brad, for all the heavy lifting, as always. I got to figure out how to do like this stuff, man, break stuff up and all that stuff. But until next time, guys, peace. We love you. We out.